Boston is my hometown, so I'm going to talk about the PD over there and the body cams that they are refusing to use. Back in July, they slated a deal with the largest police union in Boston, slated a deal with the city of Boston to select a pilot program of 100 officers that would randomly volunteer to wear body cams. There was even a $500 incentive to do so upon completion of the program. Nobody stepped up, not a single officer volunteered. So after that, they were told they were forced to wear the body cams, at which they balked and said, whoa, whoa, whoa. We never said that we'd be mandatory to wear them. It would be volunteer basis only. No one volunteered, so they tried to force them to wear it. And as of now, it's still up in the air because they're trying to fight wearing body cams that much. Any other profession that works in front of cameras, if they tried to not work under cameras, they'd be fired from their job. It seems like something that very easily protects both parties involved in any given situation. And if anything, it is a positive, or maybe not even so positive, but a reinforcement upon good behavior in the police force. And I think it's really interesting when people refuse to kind of don these cameras. I think it helps the officers as much as anyone else.
Absolutely, it would defend them from being accused of something that they didn't do.
Absolutely.
But to use the typical law enforcement argument against them is, if you're not doing anything wrong, what do you care?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, but again, there's this culture of preservation within the police force that breeds this sort of negative sentiment towards body cameras. When you have FBI Director James Comey come out and say that police brutality is on the rise because of body cameras, he fucking said that. He came out and said there are more instances of police violence because of body cameras. No, like, just complete failure of logic in that sense, where it's not the police that are committing brutality, it's the body cameras that are not exposing it, but it's because of the body cameras. Then it's very hard to have change like this, and then you have police unions coming out and combating against mandatory body cameras when we've seen so many instances of disproportionate force be brought to light, specifically targeting black communities, but also white people as well, communities of white people, black people, Mexicans, everyone gets affected by police brutality in some way.
So, Ja'Cory, do you think that this is sort of an act of solidarity from the police force in Boston? And so, like, if there was one guy that wanted to step up and wear the body cam, that he would just be totally a black sheep within this community? Do you think that's what the problem is?
Absolutely. I think that's very much part of it, whereas people don't want to be blackballed within their community, just like any other community. So they're wearing these body cams. If you are selected to wear the body cam and your partner is not, I mean, your partner's automatically on edge because of you, even though he didn't select to wear a body cam. He doesn't feel that he can trust you anymore. He can't talk to you the same way he used to talk to you. Can't interact with you the same way he used to talk to you.
So it's sort of an all or nothing mentality.
It's like Serpico. I mean, I hate to go back to a movie reference, but when there's injustice within the police force, and not the majority, but a group of bad apples are really holding the rest of the police force down, and they're committing these crimes, but they're like, hey, you're either with us or you're against us. When that's the mentality, then of course these sort of issues keep happening, and we see that with things like the DOJ probe into Baltimore, into the I think Cleveland police force. Like, there's different police forces that are currently under investigation, and we saw gross, disproportionately targeting black communities within Baltimore from the Baltimore police. Where I mean, and I'm just thankful that we have body cams finally. Like, that's a topic of conversation, and I think we have movements like Black Lives Matter to thank for that, because they are airing these issues. Before, like, I feel like back in the 90s when you saw a police, like Rodney King was a specific, was a different instance, but usually when you never really heard about police brutality, you never really heard about a police killing an unarmed black male or whatever. You heard about, violent crimes committed against rich people in local news and whatnot. And now that attitude is changing. And now, because of movements like Black